thing that you end up spending the most of your time on ends up being the thing that you're going to do, right? I know a lot of people who graduated with theater degrees, went and became really good bartenders and waiters and servers and then, became managers and then became like professional, like restaurant people. I want you to remember when you moved to New York to pursue your career as an actor, why you moved there in the first place.
I'm kind of late to this conversation, but even as an actor who works in a restaurant, or perhaps because of that, I agree with her. There have been a few people who did not react well to this video or the follow-ups, but many of them are in their early to mid-20s. And as someone who worked in a restaurant at 22 and now again at almost 35, your body is not the same. I started my job as a barista and bartender in June because my 9-to-5 was not allowing me to get to as many auditions as I wanted. And while I do get much more free time like I was looking for, holy shit was getting back into restaurant life hard on my body. And it's not like I came from a sedentary job before that. I walked dogs over 40 hours a week. So I was up and moving all day even before this restaurant job. But dog walking doesn't involve all the heavy lifting I do every day. It doesn't involve being hunched over an espresso machine for 8 hours. I never before had back pain until I went back into restaurant life. And that's because I'm not 22 anymore. Now that I've experienced being a middle-aged restaurant worker, I know that in 10 years, I'm probably not going to want or maybe even be able to do that job. There will be other jobs, I'm sure, that can give me the flexibility that I want without being as hard on my body. And it is definitely true in my experience that bartending, serving, things like that, give you a lot more freedom than a corporate job. But as Carla says in the video, a lot of actors who start out serving or bartending end up going into restaurant management and abandoning performing altogether. I've had at least 2 previous restaurant bosses who had BFAs in performing, and they did not perform anymore. They chose the money, which is totally valid, but I don't want to forget why I chose to work in this restaurant, so that I could audition, not so that I could make money being a restaurant manager. Another career that people say is great for actors, but I completely disagree about, is being a nanny. For some reason, there's this idea that being a nanny gives you tons of time to audition and perform, but I have been a New York nanny while trying to audition, and that was not my experience at all. I would often have to leave auditions before being seen because I had to go pick up my nanny kids from school. And I suppose nannying might be an easier schedule if you're union, which I was not at the time, or if you are pursuing exclusively film and TV, but I just did not find the flexibility that was promised to me. You can't make the kids wait at school to be picked up because there's a show you really want to audition for and you're about to be seen. You gotta go take care of those kids. Not to mention, if you book a show, then you won't have time to nanny during the day because you'll be rehearsing. Anyway, all of this to say, I don't think people need to take Carla's video so hard. If you want to work in a restaurant while you audition or while you perform, go for it. But at the risk of sounding super annoying, as a 34-year-old restaurant worker, your view might change when you and your body get older.